Welcome to Get Motivated with Donato, a show designed to reach you where you are, focusing on the fact that you can be anything that you want and desire. All you have to do is get motivated. If you need a challenge in your life, then look no further. Get Motivated with Donato starts now.
Any one of us out there that struggles with something, that I don't know, has a bad habit or just a bad mindset, right? That's that paradigm where we're not sure of ourselves. We put ourselves down or whatever. Like, I think you were saying something to the effect like, oh, I can't do this, or
Yes.
I don't know what, or blah blah. It's all that negative stuff, and we tend to say it, right?
Yes.
I mean, we put our own selves down at some point in time, and like you were saying, it's because it's been programmed into us, right?
Yes.
We heard it from an early age that we couldn't do something, that we're not worthy, or just whatever, right? And we start to believe that, and it gets into our subconscious. And then when things come up, then we're already defeated because that was what was programmed into us. And now
Yes.
we've got to change our paradigm. We got to change our mindset and say, no, that's not who I am. That's not what I am. That's not what I believe. I know I can do these things, and we've got to shift over, right? We got to reprogram ourselves, and to break those habits, it says it's something like 21 days to make a habit, right?
Yes.
But it's twice as long to break one. So we gotta keep on telling ourselves we can do it, or be positive, whatever it is, like, I know I can do this, I know I can do that, or I am this, I am that,
Exactly.
and then it gets into not only our conscious, but then it seeps down to our subconscious. So then
Exactly.
when something now happens, we're like, all right, let's go. I can do this. We're ready to attack it, and that's where we have to get. And I'm so glad you shared that, because it's such an important message for all of us out there, because some of us, when we grow up as children, we're just put down, and then it becomes who we are.
Yes.
And that's so not who any of us are. We could do anything that we put our minds to. And those of us that are in Christ, we can do all things, it says in the Bible, right?
Yes.
And that's where we need to just change that paradigm shift, that mindset, and do those things that matter. So thanks so much for sharing that.
Of course.
I want to talk more about about the next best you. You and I are going to be in that together. It should be out now, and I'm just excited to hear what your story is all about, and share a little bit of it with us.
All right. So I'm so excited. I'm so overjoyed to talk about this chapter books, because 2021, when I met John Talarico, I had started doing my vision board. And then one thing I put in my vision board was to write a book. And my book was actually, from the title of my book I put in the vision board was From Zero to Hero. Nice. From Zero to Hero. So, and sometimes in life you put something in your vision board, but you don't know how to do that. You don't know how to get there. But one thing my coach John Talarico said to me, he said, when you have a goal, you have a dream, something you want to accomplish, you don't need to know how you're going to get there. The only thing you have to do is to take action and stay focused on that goal. And this is what I did. I didn't know how to start writing a book because I didn't know anything about writing. I'm not an author. I wasn't an author before. But community also, the mastermind, who you surround yourself with play a major role in your life. And I remember Les Brown, my mentor, said all the time, if you're around 5 broke people, you will be the 6th one. That's why it is important that you surround yourself with people, with like-minded people, with people with the same vision, or people with higher vision than yourself. That's why today I had the privilege to be with you and with Dr. Pamela, with so many, like I think 24 people. And I'm part of this great project, the next best you. And for me, I truly believe that we have, wherever you are in life, you have your next best. You have your next best. And the Bible says, do not conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I believe in that. And that's why you see my book title is The Power of Faith. Because this book is basically talking about my life, born and raised in Haiti, as I said earlier, in a poor family, and how the power of faith guide me, strengthen me, empower me to become the person that I am today. In this book, in one of the part of my book, I was talking about the land of the familiar, because sometimes we are living in the past or we are living in the future. We keep focusing on things that happened in our life when we were little boy. We make those things our identity.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happened. In my book, in my chapter, The Power of Faith, I was talking about where I was in school with my daughter, where we had to share the same backpack, but I had never seen myself there. I always see myself like where I am today or where I want to go tomorrow, because I think we were born for something better than that.
Right.
Those moments in life, they are not here to destroy our life, but it's up to you to know what you want to do with them. If you want to, John said to me, react, or you can respond to them.
Mm-hmm.
When you react to them, they take control over your life. Something happened. That's why you see when there is a fire somewhere, they call responder. And when they come, they respond to the fire. They don't come to fight. They come to respond.
Right.
And this is what happens in our life. Sometimes when things happen, instead of us to sit down, relax, and get some inspiration, get some advice, we just react. And when you lost, you lost. If you lost, you just don't know where you are. You need to ask for advice. You need to stop and think what you should do. So, and another thing I speak in my book chapter was my birth. My birth was like something miraculous, because when my mom was giving me birth, we had no hospital close by. We had no hospital. We couldn't afford the luxury of a hospital. They were so far away and we had no money. And my mom had to fight 9 days before. And she was about to die. She was about to pass away with me, because we had no help. They tried to do everything they can, everything people can imagine they could do at that time. But still, the baby stuck. I was stuck. And the 9th day, God sent the angels to my mom. And my dad was praying too. At that time, my dad stayed in prayer. And in the 9th day, I was born on the September 4th. So that's what those things I put in my books is to basically show people, even in the tough time in life, even in the worst situation you could find yourself, there is always hope. You need to push. And I think push for me is pray until something happens. Is really that. You have to pray.
That's awesome. Say that again. I don't know if people really caught it, because it took me a second too. Push is an acronym, so say that again.
Yeah, push for me is an acronym. That P is for push, Pray. P is for pray. U is for until. S is for something. H is for happen. Pray until something
Something
happen.
happens. Yep.
And my dad did that. And
Awesome.
the things that I do today, the things that I have today in my life, those are the things when I was like 4 years old, 6 years old. I heard my dad, he was praying, asking God for those things. But at that time, I could not even understand those things. I was like, what is doing? What is asking? But now they happen in my life. So I saw them in the real life. That's why we have to keep pushing, push. Pray until something happens. And the other thing
Yeah.
I said in my life, in my chapter book, is fear. You know, fear is like an emotion. It's an emotion like love, like compassion. You have two things you can do with fear. You can use it to push you. You can use it as a fuel to push you, or you can use it to turn off your life. You can let fear turn you off from not achieving your goals, from not achieving your dreams in life. Because fear exists and we all have it. We all have fear. But what we do with fear, that matters. How you manage your fear. You know, anytime you wake up in the morning, you're going to face life. We feel like, should I do that? But so many people, when they face that, they say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. You know, they're going to laugh at me. What people going to think about me? But so many people, they said, you know what, I don't care what people are going to think about me. I'm going to make it happen. It's for me. It's for my life. It's for my family. So those are the things. And I said, you can either pray or worry. Because
Right.
I think 50 Cent said that you can either pray or worry, but do not do both. Do not do both. You cannot do both. You have to pray, you believe in God, you put your trust, you put your belief, or you just keep worrying. That's one thing I speak in my chapter book. And that's basically what I put. I want to show people that where you are is not your future. Where you are is not your destination. God has a great plan for you, because he said that in Jeremiah 29, verse 11. He said, for I know the plan that I have for you. Plan to prosper you. Plan to give you hope in the future. God has a plan for our life. Because when I was in the tough time in my life, when I have to sleep in my friend's floor when I was in college, I remember the plan. I said, God, I know you have a plan for me. Your plan is not for me to stay there. When I had to share my backpack with my sister, I always remember, because my dad taught me that verse. I know the plan, declares the Lord. And I like that verse. He said, declares the Lord, not declares David, not declares Solomon, declares the Lord. He has a plan for our life. But we need to get to a point where we trust that. We realize that we depend on God.
Yep.
Whatever you do in life, whatever you try to accomplish, you have to put God first, because he has a plan for your life. You know,
Right.
that's basically what I have in my book chapter.
That's awesome, man. I'm gonna steal that though, that push acronym. I love that. Pray until something happens.
Yes.
I mean, that's so powerful. I hope people got a hold of that, because I mean, it's so true. And then now you're talking about fear and faith and all of this stuff, and I don't even know where to start. But like that acronym especially, I think it really resonates, and it just that should be something for all of us, right? And when we're facing these hard times, push, pray until something happens. I mean, that is just so phenomenal. And it's one of those things that's almost like, duh, why didn't I think of that or remember that or whatever, right? Because I always mention I'm a type A personality. We're the type of people that always try to do stuff on our own. But if we can stop and think, like, okay, let's hand this over to God, right? Pray until something happens. then bam, stuff happens. It's just so amazing if you can let go of whatever it is and hand it over to God. He shows up. It's amazing.
Yes.
You know.
That's for sure.
And then your other thing where you're talking about reacting and responding. That is so true, because that's also part of that paradigm, that mindset that we have, the things that are programmed into us. Because when something happens, how do we handle that situation? More often than not, we react because of the things that are inside of us, right?
Yes.
We weren't programmed with the correct things
Mm-hmm.
to respond to that thing, right? We just fly off the cuff and react and make it even worse.
Yes.
But if we can see those different things, especially if they're triggers to us, right? And then have that mindset that no, we're not going to be like that. We're not going to react that way. And here's a better way to respond. And when now something happens, if we can just take a minute, take a breath, right? Sit back and observe, and then say, okay, I'm not going to react. I'm going to respond,
Yes.
and then act accordingly, right? Then we've got it. So I mean, all of those things that you were saying are so point on, and like really good stuff, and a hope and encouragement to hopefully anyone that's listening, because it just, it's so powerful.
Thank you.
How we can do those things. And one other thing that you were talking about, which, I wonder, maybe it's just me, because again, the whole type A personality thing, I mean, I do vision boards and stuff, but I always probably in the past, before I got into more things and changed my mindset a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
thought like, what do you need a vision board for? You just know what your goal is and you go for it, right? And stuff
Yeah.
like that. But tell us a little bit more about vision boards, what they mean to you, why they're so important. Because I think they are important, and I teach on that and encourage people to do that. But I want somebody else to kind of say something and how it's impacted them, because it's clearly impacted your
All right. I'm so glad to talk about that, because the Bible said, write your vision down, right?
life. Right.
And I think we have a goal. You have a goal, you want to do something, you want to accomplish anything. The first stage of any accomplishment, and when you write it down, you crystallize your project, is to write it down. Because without vision, we just forget things. Don't trust your memory too much, because if you have a goal, you have a vision, anytime you wake up, as you can see in Bob Proctor type C goal, the type C goal, when you put things down on paper, so you see them all the time, you have more ambition to go through them, to accomplish them. And I think the vision board is something that we all need to do. Not only to write them down, the power of, the first accomplishment. You do it with your hand.
Mm-hmm.
You do it with your hand. You crystallize it. And the other thing too, you remember. You remember you did. You know where you can go back. And if you can see, for me, I do not only write things down, but I put pictures. Let's say I want to meet Donato. What I do, I go online, I get Donato's picture. Not only I put in my vision board a date, I want to see you, but I also put your picture next to it so I can see it. Because Bob Proctor said the mind learn more from picture. When you said some people think about door, the first thing that happened, they know they know the structure of a door. When you said people car, they know the structure. The mind quickly signal like a door that has that structure. When you said something, some people think about a phone, the mind just signal quick. I know a phone. It's like, you know, a little keyboard, a little speaker. They know that, they mind. That's why for me, not only I put right thing on my vision board, but I put pictures next to it. The car I want to drive in the next 5 years, the country I want to travel, whatever I want to do, I get a picture and I put it next to it. When I open it, not only I read it, but also I see the picture of the thing. Kind of connect my spirit, my mind to that thing, to that picture, to this. And that's what I did for the book. And I put it in my vision board. I want to write a book. Obviously, I didn't do it by myself, but with the mastermind group. Because at that time when Dr. Pamela, our visionary, sent the call for this book, I was putting things down, like try to put chapters, thing I feel like that interesting, but I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to do. But because I got this down on my vision board, and I usually look at it, I see that now I'm an author. I'm officially an author. So it is a very, very important that we need to start putting things down. And because you just forget things if you don't put them down. And you can see Bob Proctor said in this type C goal, when you wake up in the morning, you look at it. I'm so happy and grateful that now I can travel everywhere in the world. I'm so happy and grateful now that I can inspire people, that I'm a teacher, that I'm like, I can teach people how to get unstuck in life. I'm so happy and grateful that now I got my doctors, I got my master's, my PhD. So when you put them down and you keep reading over and over and over, it becomes something huge, habitual for your mind. Because you know, the mind resists change. Whenever you have to do something that necessitates like you think, you feel like I'm tired. Oh, that thing stressed me out. Because the mind trying to resist those things. So that's why it is important to put things down, to do your vision board. And I'm like really a great believer of vision board.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And that verse you quote, right? The write it down, make it plain upon tablets. You know, back then that especially meant something. And as it goes to the vision board thing, right, where
Mhm.
they etched it in stone, like you were saying, it's crystallized, right? They etch it in stone. It cannot be removed. It's out there for the world to see, and that's why vision boards are so important, so that we have it before us. We can see it to where when
Yes.
we're running on the go, it's right there. We catch a hold of it, and we can keep it inside of us, knowing as we're moving forward that it's there, right? And
Yeah.
it's unchangeable. So that's so awesome.
Because everything that we have happened first in our mind. And in taking courage, Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind can conceive, and if you can believe it, you achieve it. And this is like what we're doing, you know?
That's so good. That's so true, man.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
hey, you know, there's so many things that all of us are. I mean, you're a coach, mentor, author now, all of these different things. How do people get a hold of you? What else do you want to share with us today as we're wrapping up? Like, the floor is yours. Just tell us how to get a hold of you and what other information you want to share.
People can reach me on social media with my platform WLC Academy of Greatness. WLC Academy of Greatness. Or they can reach me on Instagram, L Wilnord, Lima, Whiskey, India, Lima, Nancy, Oscar, Romero. So people can reach me on Instagram. People can reach me on Facebook, Wilnord Louis Charles. My entire name, my personal Facebook page, Wilnord Louis Charles. and my platform, WLC Academy of Greatness, and on Instagram, Wilnord. Those are where people can reach me for anything. Or my email, wlcluxury13@gmail.com.
Nice. All right. Is there any other thing that you want to motivate us with today?
And the only thing before I finish, I want to tell anyone, if you have anything to do in your life, if you feel like doing anything, whatever it is, the time to do it is now. Because we are not living in forever. We are human, we are living in time. God lives in forever. We are here for a short period of time. If you can contribute to do something to make this world a better place for others in the next 20, 15 years of your life, the best time to do it is now. Because there is a Chinese proverb that says, the tree you're going to need in 20 years, the best time to plant it is today, not tomorrow. Do not wait, because there will never be a perfect time. There will never be like a sexy time, an ideal situation in life. Whatever you have to do, now is the time to rise above, to push forward, and to do whatever it takes to create the life that you desire. And I will say to everyone, take full responsibility of your life. Take charge of your destiny and refuse completely to held back by circumstances. Because remember, everything in life is for a season. They're not here to stop you, but things happen in your life to reposition you, to shape your character. So whatever you have to do, whatever you feel like you want to do, just get it done. So that's my message for everyone who is listening or who is going to listen to this podcast.
All right. Well, hey, man, I appreciate it. That's so good. I mean, this has been a tremendous time that we've had here today. I mean, I just hope that, I'm blessed. I hope everyone else out there is blessed by listening to your story and all these encouraging words. I really appreciate you and thank you. And just want to tell everybody, be blessed.
Thank you for listening to Get Motivated with Donato, where Donato speaks with leaders, authors, influencers, and speakers who share their life journeys with motivational tips, lessons learned, and keys of success that will motivate you to change your life. Follow Donato on Facebook and LinkedIn at Donato Parisi, or go to donatomotivates.com. Remember, you can be anything you want and desire. All you have to do is get motivated.